Well, folks, it's pretty cold here in Southern Oregon at the moment. Just got back from the Placerville Speedway. My dad's an animal. Literally drove all the way back home. Let me check and see what time it is. 6:13. 6:13, Sunday, May 8th. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my beautiful mom. But now it is time to start our duties for the week. Even though it's Sunday morning, I still want to get a lot done today in preparation for our next race. That's how this process works. But I will say I'm feeling so much better just with the great night of racing that we had. And that makes, I said in one of my last videos, when you have great nights at the track, it makes for great weeks in the shop. And that leads to more great nights at the track. I think that's my dad. He's on the gas behind me. But that's how this works. So really excited about our speed at Placerville. It's going to make this week a lot of fun, and we are looking forward to the rest of the season. Guys, we just got back home, and look at this. It's starting to snow. It's literally May 8th. It's supposed to be summer, and it's coming down like no other. And it's even actually kind of sticking, so not too often do you see snow on Mother's Day. Well, it's 9:45 on the dot. I got the car out and we are getting ready to pull it apart to be washed. If you want to see Tanner Holmes in his most raw form, this would probably be it. I got my race gloves on because they were sitting in my car and my hands were starting to get cold. I don't even got a hat. I got my corded headphones as I'm listening to music, so I'm still pretty much living in like 2010. It's still trying to snow off and on and not really sticking, which still amazes me because it's literally May. We raced in California yesterday. It was hot. Everyone was wearing shorts, and now we're back to winter time up here in the Arctic Circle where I live. But we're not going to let that stop us. We have work to do, trying to finish up this morning, and then we have Mother's Day festivities later to celebrate my mom, and that will be fun, get to hang out with some family. But like I said, we got work to do. We're going to try to stay warm and get this done efficiently and fast. I'm making progress. Not gonna lie, when this first started occurring, I thought that it was just gonna, maybe snow for 30 minutes and be done and ha ha ha, but now it's like been roughly 2 hours and it's still trying to come down. The weather predicted we're gonna get about 3 inches. So, back to work. Well, the weather's starting to turn around. We got some blue sky behind me. I got a little bit more of the Placerville Speedway now sitting behind my shop. The red clay is absolutely atrocious. Got most of my duties for this Sunday done. Got the car washed, got the panels washed, got tires washed. I'm gonna save the mule and the quad for tomorrow morning. We're wrapping things up. We're gonna go celebrate Mother's Day, but that was a little bit of a look at our Sunday. And I am now gonna start my maintenance for the week on the 18T. Nice to get it all cleaned up on Sunday, even though, we had all the extras yesterday with the weather. Still feeling great about our run on Saturday, and racing is such an addicting sport because this is how it works for me. If we don't run good, I wanna get back to the racetrack to try to erase like my last bad race. But if we run good like we did, and I think there's a little bit of room for improvement or a couple of changes, to get us to where we maybe wanna be, I want to get back to the racetrack still. So that's just how this sport works. It's a never-ending cycle of wanting to continue and wanting more. So it is just something else, and I'm sure you viewers that have been around it just as long as I have, or maybe longer, or whether you're a driver, crew guy, fan, it constantly just has that addicting feeling. Like I said, got maintenance to do, torsion bars, torque ball. We may once again be pulling the engine out, and then of course like our bird cages, and also greasing the front. And my statement still stands true. I've been preaching it here on the channel lately. Good weekends at the racetrack lead to good weeks in the shop, and therefore that leads to more good weekends at the racetrack. That is also a cycle that's all about getting in your rhythm and making it happen, and as you kind of click that off week after week, you can really build consistency and make strides in the direction you want to head. So we've been doing a lot of shop vlogs on the channel lately and kind of showing you that process. So I think this week we're going to fast forward through all of my maintenance and what has to be done on the race car. And we're just going to catch back up when everything is all finished and we are ready to go racing once again. Well, you guys can choose to believe me or not, but the 18T is no longer sitting behind me here in my race shop. It is Wednesday morning and we are 100% loaded up and ready to head south to the Peter Murphy Classic this weekend. That's right, Dad and I did pretty good in the shop this week. You know, we washed Sunday, maintenance Monday, finish everything up Tuesday, get it all loaded, and now, you know, I'm sitting here and I don't have a race car behind me, but it feels good to be loaded up and prepared for the big weekend we have ahead of us. And with that, I kind of wanted to end this video with a little bit of a different segment. One of the main things as a content creator that I obviously have to do is watch all my footage back. Anything that is taken at the races gets watched while the video is edited. And also all of that is a tool for me to become better behind the wheel with the onboard cameras, the footage from the stands, flow racing, all of that is a tool. And believe it or not, you know, and maybe some other racers are like this as well, but I get the most frustrated watching the footage back. And I guess the reason I'm like this is because unless I win the race, there's usually always something I could have done different. Now there is things that are out of your control, but as a driver, of course, I'm hard on myself and I always try to look and see, you know, how could I have been better to even just advance a couple more spots, run in the top 5, podium, you know, how could I have contended for a win? And I'm not exaggerating when I say I actually get like frustrated and angry. I mean, I watch the footage and I just like slam my desk dang near. I'm like, what is going on? How did I not, you know, maybe do that or that? That could have totally changed the outcome of the race. So real quickly, I wanted to point out 2 key moments that I identified from the Placerville 25 lap feature on Saturday that could have possibly put us from running, you know, 5th where we finish to contending, I think, more for the podium and, you know, maybe running 2nd or 3rd. So the first moment that actually changed the race for us was very early on. We had quite a few cautions that came out that, you know, led to double file restarts. And watching this footage, this might be like lap 2 or 3, I'm behind the 38 of Blake Carrick, and I'm kind of running the high side. I feel like I'm a little conservative, you know, just going where guys in front of me aren't, and trying to figure out Placerville, because last time I only got about 10 laps into the feature before everything went wrong. So I'm really trying to feel the surface out, what I can do to make my car better quickly. And right here, I actually jump into 4th, which would have put me in row 2 on a double file restart. Blake made a small mistake on the curb. I picked a good lane choice and rolled the bottom really well. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting in 4th, and then the yellow comes out. And if that comes out like 5 seconds later, half a lap later, I'm restarting 4th instead of kind of being trapped in that 3rd row between 5th and 6th. So I feel like that moment was a little bit more major. This one you could argue is a little bit more minor, and it's not actually necessarily something I did behind the wheel. It's just purely lane choice and trying to be as perfect as you can during the race. So here's the footage from turns 3 and 4. We're fresh off a restart. Justin Sanders jumps out front. They start battling really hard for 2nd between Landon Brooks and Chase Johnson. And at Placerville, you really kill each other's momentum on the curb. And what you're gonna see is they go into turn 3 here, they both slide each other as they're both fighting for that 2nd spot. Let's watch it like 2 more times. See how they slide each other? Well, they're both like kind of not really running the right racing line because they're fighting for the spot, which therefore kills their momentum. You see the 28 gets into the curb hard, the 34 gets into the curb hard, but I ran the top, so I had to slow up for it, or I kind of like ran like the middle, which if I would have just rolled the bottom literally in that corner, I would have been able to once again get into that 4th spot, which would have been key with the yellow that came up just you know, not too long after that happened. Now, I understand from your guys' point of view if you think I'm being maybe like a little dramatic or crazy about that, but as a racer, that's genuinely how I feel. You know, I watch footage back and use that as a tool, and I try to find where I can be better. And the first one, you know, there's not a whole lot I could have done. I can't control if a yellow comes out like it did. But in the second situation, if I would have played my cards better and ran a different line, my whole race could have possibly looked different. And that's just how it goes, but I'm thankful to have that tool to be able to recognize that. And maybe one of these times I'll actually I need to almost just live stream me watching the footage back, because you will see the frustration as I see things happen, because sometimes things happen differently on track than they appear in real time. You know, it's easy for your mind to play tricks on you when you're at full race pace, but then when you watch the footage back, usually the truth is revealed. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We're headed to Central California this weekend for 2 nights in one of California's crown jewel sprint car races. So a lot of good competition, a lot of money on the line, and I'm sure a lot of excitement on track. We'll see you guys all there. Deuces.